Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Monday, the 8th of January. Well, a quick recap. Well, it was a losing day, but we had some returns. We had a winner. We had what was it, a third or fourth, and then we had an absolute shocker. I thought personally that Freddie Ginger gave what was it? It was a first runner, an absolute a poor ride. Um, I just yeah, that's it, basically. I think again it a poor ride. Not saying it would have won, but it kept getting there. It kept no, sorry, I'm listening to something else. It kept getting there prominently. It kept racing. Sorry, I'm really. It kept racing prominently, then dropping back, coming again without. He only flicked the reins, and then when push came to shove, as in like was it 3 out? He lost his place slightly, then panicked and then got stuck into it, and it ran on quite well towards the end. But the winner and the second were absolutely miles clear. I just thought he could have given it a better ride, really. So let me get on to Mondays. So the selections, as you can see all three. Sorry, it's a lucky 15. So I'm saving it for my free bet. So it could be a 20 pence each way lucky 15. So the first selection is Ledger at 9 to 2 in the 320 at Newcastle, paying four places instead of four. Originally, I was trying to look to see if I could fancy the Jeff Oldroyd horse, but I'm not quite sure whether it'll stay. So I opted for Ledger. It's not a massive price, but I liked the angle of this horse. But you see, this one isn't guaranteed to stay either on breeding. However, it tends to run keen, and I think the fact that it can run keen and still run on well over a mile, if it can settle a bit better, I think it'll be absolutely fine over this 1 mile too. So therefore, it seems to stay the mile at Newcastle pretty well, and it's a really poor race. And I think Ledger actually has probably got that bit of ability that it might need for this race. The second selection is Comedian Leader at 13 to 2 in the 3:55 at Newcastle, paying four places instead of three. This has dropped to a really low mark now, and Gay Kellaway, I do quite like it when she's got a runner, especially when she goes to Newcastle as well. This has got It's got second time blinkers. Well, it had first time blinkers quite a while ago. It had been showing nothing. Then all of a sudden, there was a huge improvement in form when it had blinkers applied. They've been left off, well, straight after that race, and then eventually they put some cheap pieces on it for the first time, and it showed a bit of improvement. And they kept cheap pieces for a while. All of a sudden, they've switched to blinkers. I'm thinking they must have tried these at home again and seen a bit of improvement. And I think on this very well handicapped horse, I think you can see some improvement, and I think it's got a good chance of at least getting a place. The third selection is Pop Favourite at 11 to 2 in the 5 o'clock at Newcastle, paying four places instead of three. I've been watching this horse for quite a while now, and I think they've been aiming for this race because it's 5 grand, and most Class 6 handicaps are about 2 to 3 grand. Well, this one's five, and I think it's been travelling really powerfully and not either not getting the run or not putting the race or. So I think this one will be held up and it'll come there absolutely tanking. 11 to 2, yeah, it's not a great price. It does look, even with Ledger and Comedian Leader, like there's been some money for these horses already, or whether Skybet have just lowered the price straight away because that Pop Favourite was 7 6s 11 to 2. Comedian Leader, well, I think it might have been something like tens then eights. No, it was 16s then tens. I can't believe it's ever been that price, but we'll see. And finally, an interesting, and this is also, as you can see, if you just look to the left where the tick is, you can see 22s, 20s, 18s. Well, it's 16s that I haven't taken yet because I'm waiting for the morning to put me to get the free bet. But La Referi at 16 to 1 in the 4 at Taunton, paying four places instead of three. I really like the look of this horse. It's ran all its three hurdle races at Taunton. Then it had a wind operation, and then they took it to Sedgefield. And I'm thinking, well, what's so interesting about that? Well, they took it to Sedgefield. Bearing in mind, and I'm not very good with geography, is Sedgefield Scotland or is it like very northern England? Well, it's not. It's nowhere near Devon, and that's where Nigel Hawke trains. So why would he send this horse that It's rated 68. Well, it's not even at the handicap today. So they found a really poor race for it where it's actually in the handicap. Why it went to Sedgefield, I don't know. But it didn't. It never ran a race. It was held up and never got into the race. Well, I think this flatter track will suit. Taunton's pretty easy to get. It's pretty flat, pretty sharp. And I'm thinking in this dreadful race, I find it interesting the fact that they've had a wind operation to a horse that's rated 68 over hurdles. Clearly, they must think that it's got a little, well, I'll say a little bit of talent. They think clearly it's capable of winning one. Well, I'm not saying it's going to win this one, but 16-1 is too big in this shocking race. So anyway, so those are the 4 selections for Monday. If you can give me a like or a subscribe or a comment, that'd be absolutely great. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.